All right, back here on Worldwide, a very quick reminder, Sold Out is right around the corner, Sunday, January the 17th, available only on pay-per-view. It is going to be a barn burner. Booker T, come on in with that big pay-per-view coming up in short order. A couple of things I need to talk to you about. But with all of the success you've had right now, apparently there is, for lack of a better term, some heat between you and your brother Stevie Ray. Here's a guy that says you as a brother have sold out to the man. What does he mean by that?
You know, my brother, like you say, he goes around claiming, Booker T, his younger brother that should look up to him, that sold out to the establishment. But I don't look at it like that, Gene. I look at it like this, I'm here in WCW trying to do my best, trying to do the right thing. My brother called me numerous times, of the week telling me, WCW ain't going to give a guy like me a shot. I ain't going to never get another title around my waist. Well, I'm going to prove him wrong. I'm going to prove everybody out there who think Booker T is not worthy of a title shot. I'm going to beat each and every competitor WCW put in front of me until the committee can do nothing but one thing, give Booker T a title shot.
I don't have to tell you, but I do want to remind our fans that, of course, this man, long-time, 7-time, as a matter of fact, WCW Tag Team Champion with your brother Stevie Ray. You've held the WCW World Television title on numerous occasions, and also the United States title.
Actually, the United States title is what I'm looking for, Gene. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the WCW committee to look at Booker T and make him the #1 contender. I'm not looking for a handout. I'm not looking for somebody to give me anything. I'm willing to work for everything that I get. Like I say, you put him up and I'll knock him down, and that's the way Booker T is going to do it in 1999.
Any unfinished business with your brother?
I got love for my brother. That's all I got to say about it, G.
All right, Booker T, you know him very well. He is one of the great ones, one of the great superstars here in World Championship Wrestling. We are back on WCW Worldwide. Of course, a brand new year. This is going to be the last one of this century, 1999. What a fantastic year. The program, WCW Worldwide. What does it mean? Well, I think this young man personifies what World Championship Wrestling is all about. Great international stars from all over the world. This one from south of the border. He is from Mexico. Welcome, amigo, to Worldwide. And Juventud Guerrera, a lot of things happening. You're one of the more exciting stars in that super cruiserweight division. But what kind of influence is Eddie Guerrero having on you right now?
All this time it's been happening so many things in my life, in my career. And now with Eddie Guerrero, I feel so happy to be with him. Share a room with him, share a ring with him, because I got a lot of respect for him, because when I was a boy, I started in Mexico, so I used to show him like my idol, like the superstar. So now I come here to United States, and I have the opportunity to be with the man, because for me, he's the best wrestler of the world.
But some get the impression that Eddie Guerrero is very pushy, especially of the great Mexican talent that we have here.
I know Eddie is going to take the right way. I know Eddie.
For a fact, you know that, Juventud?
I can say that.
It's got to come from in here, then.
Yeah, I could feel it. I could feel it from here, it's coming from my heart, because I know Eddie. And so I trust Eddie. I don't know what's going to happen, but everything Eddie wants to do, I'm going to follow him.
Very quickly, in your native tongue, some Spanish, a beautiful language. Go right ahead.
Bueno, estoy con Eddie porque él es mi ídolo, es mi maestro, es mi teacher, y voy a estar con él siempre.
Muchas gracias. I thank you very much. Juventud Guerrera, right here on Worldwide. This Sunday night, sold out exclusively on pay-per-view, 8 p.m. Eastern Time start. And ladies and gentlemen, one of the spectacular matches, part of this card, pits Curt Hennig and Barry Windham against these two gentlemen. They are father and they are son. David Flair and the one and only Nature Boy Ric Flair. This young man volunteering to be at your side for this spectacular.
You know what I mean, Gene? I look back on that moment now and I cannot believe that there was 1 second of hesitation on my part. What man wouldn't want his 19-year-old son to walk across that ring, to make destiny happen? It took Arn Anderson to make me see it. I'm glad I did. Because Hennig, you and Windham, you owe me. But the reality of what life is all about is you owe him. Windham, it's him you jumped on. Wyndham, it's him that you and Bischoff sucker punched and beat up in Charlotte. Now, Henning, you and I, we go back. My head's been slamming the cage. You tried to help Bischoff, or did help Bischoff. At Starrcade, it all comes to an end. Sold out. Nature Boy 1, woo, and Nature Boy 2 will walk that aisle. We will style, woo, and much to your dismay, we will profile. Woo!
David, one of the most compelling things I've ever seen when you volunteered to be your father's partner, what was going through your mind?
I've been watching him since I've been 5 years old, him, Arn, and everybody. And I saw the opportunity, and I'm really happy to be his partner here at Sold Out.
Well, I'll tell you what, as a father, I can appreciate that. You have got to be full of yourself.
Gene, I'm taking Nate Jr. after we beat him up out all night long. Woo!
I believe that. Sold Out this Sunday night only on pay-per-view. All right, here on WCW Worldwide, I could hardly wait. The time is cutting it very short this Sunday. Sold Out exclusively on pay-per-view with an 8 p.m. Eastern start time. You can be part of it. Contact your local cable company for pay-per-view availability. Join us for WCW's Sold Out. Barry Windham, come on in. This coming Sunday night, you're going to be teaming up with none other than Kurt Hennig, and the two of you are going to be facing the Nature Boy Ric Flair and his eldest son David. It should be a great match, or do you have other thoughts?
I don't know how great this match is going to be. Ric Flair, first of all, you're taking one of the biggest chances of your life and of your son's short career by putting him into a ring with Kurt Hennig and myself. And what you need to do is between now and Sunday, you need to sit down and you need to think about this seriously. You think about the things that have gone on between you and myself over the years, and then you think about sticking your kid right in the middle of it. He already knows what it feels like to be next to me. And you've been next to me many times, Flair. When we step into the ring Sunday, it's not going to be playtime, David. It's not going to be exercise or Jack LaLanne time or Kathy Smith time. It's going to be time to get serious. I'm going to grab a hold of you, and then I'm going to throw you every way but out of that building. And your old man is going to have to stand there and watch it. He might think he's going to do something about it, but Kurt Hennig is going to take care of Flair while I take care of David.
Wait a minute. I should point out, just for the record, casually, in passing, that Ric Flair is now the new president of World Championship Wrestling. You're aware of that?
What's the president going to do? Is he going to vote us out of office before we come into the match, or what? He better figure out a way to get his kid out of this match.
This Sunday night on pay-per-view, get ready for Sold Out.
All right, fans, we're back getting ready to go to the arena with Scott Hudson and Mike Tenay for our double main event, our two exclusive matchups here on Worldwide Wrestling. I want to let you know that, as you probably know, Worldwide Wrestling is pre-taped, and we're not so sure what Ric Flair's going to do about Hollywood Hogan winning the world title. Of course, Ric Flair, by the time you watch this, could have changed the decision. Hopefully, Ric Flair will do what is right. And based on what we saw earlier in the last segment, Ric Flair will do what's right for professional wrestling.
Well, Ric Flair comes from tradition. He's part of the old school. He has bled for professional wrestling. He knows what's right. Question is, how much time is it going to take to accomplish what he wants to do? Obviously, he will get some things done. Time will tell whether or what he can get done.
It's time for our double main event. Standing by with the commentary, Scott Hudson and Mike Tenay.
Thanks a lot, guys, here in the Worldwide Arena. More WCW action on the way as Dave Sierra makes his way to the ring.
Now, this is going to be a case of the veteran against the rookie.
Oh, yeah.
Experience on the side of David Sierra, who has competed internationally all over the globe. Headliner in Mexico, headliner in Puerto Rico, has wrestled extensively throughout the Orient, Europe, and of course in World Championship Wrestling in the United States.
And let's not forget the run he had in the Pacific Northwest, where everyone knows the name Dave Sierra. To take on Lorenzo, a rookie here in WCW, and a student and graduate, if you will, of the power plant in Atlanta, Georgia.
I guess it's only natural that once you graduate from the WCW power plant, that you're given the opportunity to show your wares here on WCW Worldwide. And here's a chance for Lorenzo to show the world what he learned.
And I'm telling you from experience, making it through the first day of the power plant.
That's first-hand experience, right?
That's first-hand experience. That is no walk in the park at all. To finish the entire program, you have to be double tough. I will never underestimate anyone that can finish that program.
I know you went down there for a day, and I know you made it through a couple of cups of coffee. And then how much longer did you go?
Had a cappuccino and a honey bun and quit. That's about it. Lorenzo shoots Sierra in. Oh, shoulder block from the veteran. Step over from Sierra into the rope. Hip toss from Lorenzo. Arm drag takedown.
Nicely done. Deep arm drag takedown, and then immediately goes into a top wrist lock.
And keys it. Fireman's carry takeover from Lorenzo on Dave Sierra. Quick cover. Lateral press, and he got the 2 count.
So it's obvious that Lorenzo has been learning the basics, the elementary moves of professional wrestling. Let's see if he can take it any further.
Now Lorenzo, once again a lateral press, hooks the leg on Sierra, only got the 2. You're going to need to wear down a veteran like Sierra a lot more than Lorenzo has done, but Lorenzo has a good game plan. Quick cover. You never know when one may actually take, even if you haven't beaten the man down, and he knows he hasn't done that yet.
And that's kind of a surprise to see a rookie employ that kind of strategy. That usually goes with a veteran, but we're seeing it in Lorenzo today. He's not afraid to go for those 3 counts. Try to get the pinfall win in the early going.
Oh, and Sierra with the right hand. Just rocks Lorenzo. Shoots him across. Now you saw Sierra did not follow through, did not take himself into the turnbuckle, still in control over Lorenzo.
That's the veteran's advantage. Sierra did not go blindly into the corner.
Now into the wrist lock. Could easily turn that into a hammerlock on Sierra. Sierra trying to beg out of it, but no go. Lorenzo not showing any mercy. I wonder what both of these men think of what has gone down with the World Heavyweight Championship. With how tradition, they just spit in the face of tradition of Kevin Nash and Hollywood Hogan.
Well, I can't speak for Lorenzo or David Sierra, but I can tell you that I'm disgusted with this whole situation. You know, Scott, you and I have been, even before announcers, wrestling fans for years and years.
Absolutely.
Quick cover off the roll-up by Lorenzo in a 2 count. And I think maybe we appreciate more than a lot of other people the history, the tradition, the legends, all the great stars, the accomplishments of those great stars as they won that World Heavyweight Championship belt. There's a reason that that's the most prestigious title in our sport, and it's because of the history of the belt.
That's exactly right. Back elbow from Lorenzo. And when you think of men like Jack Briscoe, Harley Race, Dusty Rhodes, Ric Flair, Pat O'Connor, Gene Kiniski, Luthez, all of the great champions in the almost 100-year history of that title. What Nash and Hogan did is just a travesty.
You just ran through a list of Hall of Famers that I'm sure that entire group is probably as sickened by the situation as you and I are.
No question. Oh, Lorenzo got the knees up into the gut of Dave Sierra. Now Lorenzo. Oh, full slam coming up. No, shoulder high. Hang on. Sierra trying to escape out of it. He got him over anyway. Lateral press. Can he hang on for the cover? He got him.
That one was just pure strength on the part of Lorenzo. A counter move by David Sierra. Tried to block the slam. Lorenzo followed through, put all of his weight into it, and gained the 3 count in the win.
What a good victory for the rookie Lorenzo here on Worldwide. Don't go anywhere. More action when we return. It's a worldwide exclusive on the way to the ring right now. A couple of newcomers to WCW, although we have seen both men before. Mark LaRue makes his way to the ring. And I don't know that Mark knows what he's in for coming up.
I am the show. I was just going to say, this is where you make your name for yourself. You get this national television exposure. And this young man, Mark LaRue, he's going to be going up against a mountain from New England in Big Rick Fuller. We've seen Rick Fuller on Nitros. We've seen him on Thunders, WCW Saturday Night broadcast, as well as on WCW Worldwide, like he is in this instance. And I have always been impressed with Rick Fuller Well, from one very obvious standpoint, the size and power that he brings to the ring. We're talking about an individual who is about 6'6", 6'7", and well over the 300-pound mark. I think that Rick Fuller, with just a little bit more seasoning, a little bit more experience under his belt, is really going to be a force to be reckoned with in the world of pro wrestling.
You know, when you look down the laundry list of names that Goldberg defeated while he was on that initial hot streak, you'll see Rick Fuller's name in there too. And Goldberg will tell you that is no easy feat to spear and jackhammer a man the size of Rick Fuller. But the former heavyweight champion of the world got through Fuller just like he got through the other 173 before he came up against the stun stick of Scott Hall.
I don't think we've heard the last of that situation involving Goldberg and Scott Hall. His new favorite weapon, that stun stick, just been using it on everyone, and not just exclusively Goldberg.
Oh no, the guy's gone crazy, stunning everybody. If you see Scott Hall at a restaurant somewhere, run for the hills. He's probably got the stun stick stuck in his coat pocket.
Pump handle into a slam by Rick Fuller, and this is as we expected. Fuller trying to showcase the power and strength advantage that he has over young Mark LaRue, and he has done that since the opening bell.
And Mark LaRue probably wishes he were back on the Bayou as Fuller just opens up with the knife-edge chops. Oh, and Fuller, no, LaRue ducks out of the way. Fires in with the right and the left on Fuller. Into the corner mount. He needs to take over here if he's got a shot. Oh man, look at that.
He just tossed him away. He just pushed him down out of the corner and then leveled him with that spin kick.
Good night. And that is a tree trunk of a leg to get up in the spin kick for Rick Fuller. And just ask LaRue.
Fuller sends LaRue out to the floor, and he follows up his advantage with a big right hand that connected with the jaw and the shoulder.
Fuller. Oh, the full slam outside on the hard floor here at the Worldwide Arena.
You see any mats down there?
Nope.
Nothing. There's no give. That's just a hard floor with the WCW Worldwide logo that he planted Mark LaRue on with that big slam.
Oh, and Fuller isn't finished yet. Shoves LaRue back into the ring. And look at LaRue begging off. I don't blame him. Ask for a little mercy. It may work 1 out of 1,000,000 times. Oh, but not this one. Fuller right across the chest.
Well, Mark LaRue, with the exception of a couple of punches out of the corner, has yet to get on track with any offense. And the big leg, the big full extension of the leg, the boot to the face sends LaRue to the mat again.
Well, we won't be able to use dental records to identify Mark LaRue. He just lost his teeth from that big boot at the hands of Rick Fuller.
Interesting move here. Combination of the death lock on the legs and the reverse chin lock. Very close to a variation of the STF hold.
Very close to a variation, eh?
Very close.
Oh, slam in the corner. Tying LaRue to the proverbial tree of woe. Now puts the boot to the chest of the man from Louisiana.
Uh-oh. Now the body is not made to be twisted in that kind of form or fashion. That's a way to snap the neck of this young man.
Oh, and Fuller is just vicious. Referee Billy Silverman maybe should step in here or at least think about it. Oh no, LaRue ducks the elbow. High cross body, no, look at that. Fuller just caught it. LaRue's got to be what, 220? Just caught him in midair. Shoulder high. Oh no! Twisting pile driver, just absolutely nailed it. And Rick Fuller, what an impressive victory.
Just one fluid motion that time. Fuller took him up on the shoulder, brought him down quickly, dropped him on his head with the pile driver. We said this was an opportunity for Rick Fuller to showcase his talent, and that's exactly what he did.
That is worth another look, and we will take it in our 10-10, 3-2-1 replay. I don't think LaRue wants to see this again.
Total offensive domination from Rick Fuller, from the pump handle slam to young Mark LaRue, shooting him off into the rope, full extension of the leg, caught him with the boot right in the face. Made it easy pickings at this point. There you see the pile driver, the tombstone, and the ensuing 3 count.
10-10, 3-2-1. Dial it and save up to 50% on all calls over 10 minutes. Back to you, Tony and Larry.
Back here on WCW Worldwide. Before I talk to my next guest, I do want to remind you wrestling fans all across the country and around the world that coming up on Sunday, February the 21st at 8 p.m., that's Eastern Standard Time, and originating from the greater San Francisco Bay Area, it's WCW and NWO Super Brawl. We're going to keep you posted here in weeks to come on everything that's going to be happening at Super Brawl. And yes, it will be available on pay-per-view. Bobby Duncombe Jr., come on in, my friend. I have told the story many, many times how I worked, a few years ago with your father, Bobby Duncombe Sr., big, tough customer, very physical like yourself. And I got to say, back in the old days in the AWA, when he was teaming with Blackjack Lanza, there was nobody better. And I got a feeling that you're going to follow in his footsteps very closely.
Yes, sir. I have a big shoes to fill right there with my father, the living legend, Bobby Duncombe. I'm here at WCW, Mean Gene, and you know what I'm all about. And that's for the great state of Texas. I'm probably one of the greatest athletes ever to come out of the great state of Texas, and I'm here to show everybody around the world.
You had quite a football career. Let's talk a little bit about Texas football.
The University of Texas, that's right. I played with the University of Texas, and my brother also played there. And like I said, I had a wonderful career there, also with San Antonio Riders, World Football League, and also with the Arena Football Dallas Texans. So actually I played all my pro football and all my college career right there in the great state of Texas.
You know, that's the one thing I notice about Texans. They all seem to have in common. They're all proud of coming from the great Lone Star State.
Yeah, we're in a league of our own. We believe that the great state, we take a lot of pride and tradition of being the very best athletes, beautiful women, you know, Austin.
Thank you very much, yes, Bobby Duncombe Jr. You know, I'm from the South Dakota.
Well, like I said, man, Gene,
that's it.
This week on WCW Worldwide, now though is a dangerous time to be a part of WCW, living legend. You know the NWO, how strong they've become, how dangerous they've become once again. But if you look on the other side of the ledger with a Ric Flair and a Goldberg, and I don't know where the Macho Man Randy Savage stands, there's some great athletes on the other side of the ledger as well.
Well, you know, it's interesting because wrestling was always dangerous. It was always physically dangerous inside the ring. But now it's become full of treachery. The money is too big. The championships are too big. The television coverage is too big. People will do anything for the power and the glory and the money. The treachery makes it more dangerous than ever.
Especially when treachery is on the side of the New World Order. All right, time to go to the arena. We're going to be back with you at the end of the program for 4 exclusive matches. Here are Mike Tenay and Scott Hudson.
Thanks a lot, guys. A couple of youngsters on their way to the ring, Mike, today. Mike, a match you can deem a contender contest. 2 men, 2 journeyman competitors, you can call them. Not rookies anymore. On their way up, this will be a firm test for Jerry Flynn as he steps into the ring against Lenny Lane.
And as you know, Scott, the WCW Executive Committee is in attendance here at this WCW Worldwide event. They are looking at these 2 competitors. They are trying to see who moves up the rankings, who's going to be in line for future title shots in World Championship Wrestling. When you look at Lenny Lane and Jerry Flynn, we're talking about 2 very diverse competitors in terms of wrestling style, in terms of size. Jerry Flynn, of course, with that martial arts background. Thunderfoot Jerry Flynn against the wrestler Lenny Lane, who has primarily competed against many of the cruiserweights in World Championship Wrestling. And from Lenny Lane, you'll see more of a high-flying aerial-type offense where Jerry Flynn will rely more on the ground game.
And let's not forget the psychological difference between these 2, just like that. Lenny Lane playing to the crowd. Jerry Flynn keeping his head in the ring, gets the early advantage. Lenny Lane, not one prone to show a lot of discipline inside the squared circle. Jerry Flynn, with the martial arts background, shows a lot of discipline, and look at that. Singapore clothesline just knocked the taste out of Lenny Lane's mouth. Drops the knee across the head.
And as we've mentioned on so many occasions, especially as it relates to some of the younger competitors, was that rapid-fire kicks by Flynn in the corner. I'm thinking of a wrestler like a Disco Inferno, who we often talk about loses his focus. It's all about maintaining that level of concentration in the ring and staying on top of your opponent, just like Jerry Flynn is in the corner.
And Jerry Flynn at 6'4", that's some serious extension into the lower jaw of Lenny Lane. Lenny has not gotten untracked here. Oh, what a stiff kick right in the gut.
Well, those two contrasts that we talked about have both played into Jerry Flynn's advantage in the early going. The martial arts background, he's used it here to dominate. Hooks the leg, gets two, and the kick out by Lenny Lane. And he's also used his size and power advantage to maintain control here in the early going.
And as Goldberg marched through the competition here in WCW toward 174-0 before the loss to Kevin Nash at Starrcade, many of those victories came over Jerry Flynn, but we remember, Mike, those were some of the stiffest challenges Goldberg faced on his march to the title.
I remember back even early in that run of 173 or 174 victories that Goldberg piled up, that Jerry Flynn on one occasion, thanks to the use of his submission techniques, he actually had Goldberg in trouble at one point. And he is a specialist at using that cross arm bar, that cross arm breaker, a submission type move that Goldberg you will often see now use in his matchups.
Well, Goldberg will tell you he learned from every contest he won during that incredible undefeated streak through WCW. And he will also tell you he learned a lot from his matches with Jerry Flynn. Hang on, Lenny Lane. No! He went Bischoff first directly into the top turnbuckle and hit hard, and Jerry Flynn is exactly right, showing a little more intelligence in there than Lenny Lane.
And we talked about that cruiserweight style, high-flying aerial antics from Lenny Lane, and that time they backfired on him.
Nice field throw out of the corner from Jerry Flynn, and Lenny has shown flashes of offense, but not much. Flynn dominating here. Oh, telegraphed it into the jawbreaker from Lenny Lane. There's life left in Lenny yet. Here we go, Bulldog into the mat. Quick cover, lateral press, hooks the leg. Lenny Lane gets a two, and only a two.
Nice series of chain moves that time by Lenny Lane, and now it looks like it's high-risk time. Lenny Lane to the top rope.
Lenny from, oh no, just a little mistake like that. And the snap there off the top. There's the cross arm breaker.
That's it. The cross arm bar and the immediate tap out by Lenny Lane.
Lenny Lane, one misstep as he went up top, and that cost him. Jerry Flynn, the veteran, took advantage, and the championship committee furiously scribbling notes backstage. They saw what a victory Jerry Flynn scored here at a jam-packed Worldwide Arena over Lenny Lane.
Well, it was Jerry Flynn from the opening bell in control. Lenny Lane had that momentary flurry, just when it looked like he was about to turn the tide, and he had to slip. We take another look. There you see Lenny Lane going full speed into the corner, not able to connect with Jerry Flynn. Flynn takes Lenny Lane out of the corner. That was right after the misstep off the top. The submission hold, the cross armbar applied, and the ensuing tap out.
He represents tradition. This is the 13-time former champ, Ric Flair. Back in the Worldwide Arena, Scott Hudson and Mike Tenay with you. Gonna see a long, tall Texan come to the ring in Kendall Windham. Younger brother of BW, Barry Windham, who has certainly made his presence felt since his return to WCW.
Second-generation competitor from Sweetwater, Texas. Of course, the son of the legendary Black Jack Mulligan.
Oh, don't say legendary when we've got Larry Zbyszko back in the studio.
Oh, that's right.
You're going to hear about that.
I know we will.
Maybe we'll edit that out in post.
Of course, Black Jack Mulligan was managed by another one of our broadcast colleagues.
Tony Schiavone.
No, not Tony Schiavone.
Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Absolutely.
Although Tony Schiavone had quite a stellar managerial career, let's not forget about that.
Little history lesson here on WCW Worldwide for everyone.
Very little. Very little. Mike Sullivan, graduate of the power plant in Atlanta, Georgia, on his way to the ring. And I tell you what, Sullivan is put together, looks to be in terrific condition.
He does, but he's a rookie. And across the ring is a very experienced veteran of more than a decade in professional wrestling. And I'm sure that Kendall Windham is going to use that extensive knowledge and experience edge that he has in this matchup against Mike Sullivan. How about Super Brawl? Not that far away now, February the 21st.
Under a month away at the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum in the Bay Area, February 21st for Super Brawl 9. And Hollywood Hogan to make his very first defense of that ill-gotten World Heavyweight Championship.
Well, Super Brawl all of a sudden is a Bay Area tradition. I think this is the third consecutive year that World Championship Wrestling has brought you Super Brawl from the either San Francisco or Oakland area. We're in Oakland, California in 1999. And it was great to see Ric Flair, as president of World Championship Wrestling, reinstate J.J. Dillon a couple of weeks ago. Of course, J.J. is the chairman of the WCW Executive Committee, and among the very first rulings from J.J. Dillon was that Hollywood Hogan's first title defense, after winning that title in a very tainted manner at the Georgia Dome.
That's an understatement.
When Kevin Nash just laid down and handed the belt to him on a silver platter. Hogan's first title defense is coming up at Super Brawl against a WCW competitor.
Absolutely. And Hollywood Hogan, this may be one of the shorter title reigns for Hollywood. I gotta wonder, Hogan retired on Thanksgiving Day, came back at the Georgia Dome on Nitro, won the title back that night, certainly didn't win it in the ring, was given the title back. We still don't know if Hogan's ready to go. He hasn't wrestled a contest. We only think he can go, and he certainly hasn't earned the championship. He may not come up the winner at Super Brawl.
We make a great point, especially in terms of ring rust. But if you think back over Hollywood Hogan's career, what wrestler has gone away from professional wrestling more often than Hogan? I'm talking about in terms of making movies, television appearances, and if you think back through his illustrious career, he's always been able to bounce back on top, so that has to be a huge edge for Hogan going into Super Brawl.
That's an excellent point. Hogan, more than anyone else, shows no ring rust. He will take a couple of months, even up to a year off to make a movie, to do whatever. Of course, now he took 2 months off to run for president. I guess that's still going on. But now is WCW World Heavyweight Champion. He will defend it February 21st in Oakland on pay-per-view at Super Brawl 9. Kendall Windham and Mike Sullivan here on Worldwide. Windham misses, charged in with the corner clothesline. Sullivan ducked out of the way. Sullivan into the ropes. Windham staggered. Oh, big 5-arm.
Now let's see if Mike Sullivan can capitalize on that air in the corner by Kendall Windham. He's followed up nicely first with that forearm smash, and here comes a suplex and a cover.
And he got the 2 count on big Kendall Windham. And Kendall Windham's about 6'6", not an easy man to get up in that suplex. Oh no! Oh, the swinging neck breaker from Kendall.
That illustrates what we talked about earlier, the lack of experience on the part of Mike Sullivan as he telegraphed the back body drop, allowing Kendall Windham to connect with the swinging neck breaker.
Now Kendall Windham back in control on the rookie Mike Sullivan. Kendall with the back elbow in the corner. Once again, shoots him across. Kendall waits on him. Oh!
What a bulldog out of the corner.
A variation of the bulldog, and you can count to 203 after that one. Sullivan, I think, is out. And Kendall Windham, what a victory. Following in the footsteps of his brother, Big Barry Windham, Kendall gets the Duke here on Worldwide. And Mike, that was impressive. I think it's worth another look as we go back to the replay.
Well, this matchup was all about Kendall Windham. Momentary bit of offense for Mike Sullivan. There you see that spinning neck breaker. Follows up in the corner, and as Sullivan comes bouncing out of the corner, he plants it with the variation of the bulldog, and there's the 3 count.
They are the men who killed tradition. A special look at Kevin Nash and Hollywood Hogan. Welcome back to the Worldwide Arena, and the music is still around. After everything that has gone down with the New World Order, we still hear the screams of that theme song as we see Horace Hogan making his way to the ring.
You know, when Ric Flair defeated Eric Bischoff, I think a lot of people felt that balance of power would swing the way of World Championship Wrestling. Flair in charge as the new president of WCW, and I guess to a certain extent it has. But when you think of how the New World Order has regrouped, Hollywood Hogan, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall and company, what they have done, in their own words, they've sort of trimmed the fat. They've pared down the roster of the NWO to an elite group of athletes, and in my mind, the New World Order may never be stronger than they are right now.
As much bad as we say about Hollywood Hogan, as the Prince, the former television champion, Prince Iaukea, makes his way to the ring, as much as we say about Hollywood Hogan, give the man credit. When he reformed one New World Order, look at who is inside of that group. You have Horace, who was a member of the Flock, infiltrated that group. How much scouting information can Horace provide? Stevie Ray was part of WCW. How much can he provide about WCW? And especially Booker T. Hogan did his homework. The NWO, as we know them right now, certainly a force to be reckoned with, and I don't think there is any doubt that group is on a roll. And as we've seen on Nitro and Thunder and on Saturday night, they make no bones about it. They want to control every aspect of WCW.
When you look at these two competitors, Horace and Prince Iaukea, I think their career paths are headed in different directions. We talked about Horace and what an important part of the NWO he is, the nephew of Hollywood Hogan. On the opposite side of the ring, Prince Iaukea, who just received that lariat clothesline, had a pretty difficult final few months of 1998. You mentioned that he's a former world's television champion. He was sidelined for much of that time with a knee injury, had subsequent knee surgery, and ever since coming back, Prince Iaukea has just had a very difficult time getting on track, especially in terms of one-loss record.
Absolutely. We're seeing flashes of fire here from the Prince on Horace Hogan. Watch the Prince up top. Springboard crossbody. Nailed it. This may do it. Hooks the leg, and he only got the two on Horace. Prince Iaukea now kicks into the midsection, shoots Horace across. Hip toss blocked by Horace, knee to the chest.
Oh!
An arm clothesline. Good night.
What a brutal lariat that was delivered by Horace. If you go back through the course of this man's career, you think about the years that he spent wrestling over in Japan. Lateral cover, didn't have the Prince properly softened up to get the 3 count. You think back to the many barbaric, brutal, dangerous matchups that Horace Hogan was involved in over in Japan. Really makes him a natural to be a part of the New World Order as his career starts to flourish in the United States.
Nice elbow off the ropes, lateral press cover from Horace, and again gets the 2 count on Prince Iaukea. And the Prince better keep an eye out. He is in the ring with a member of the New World Order. It never, ever, ever means you're in there against one person. They may not come out, but they are in the wings if things start to head south for Horace, and the Prince has to realize that.
Now there's an air. Horace goes airborne, something you don't often see. Doesn't connect, and now it's an opportunity for the Prince to take over. Smart move by the Prince. The drop kick to the knee of Horace, taking the larger athlete down.
Snap suplex in the center of the ring from Prince Iaukea. Lateral press doesn't hook the leg and only got the 2 count, but Horace is staggered. We may see the beginning of a new run for Prince Iaukea. Oh no! Double thrust in the throat. Staggered the Prince. Fall away Samoan drop from Horace. Lateral press cover, and that is it. Horace wins it.
Well, it was just that pure strength of Horace with the double axe handle blow that allowed him to soften up the Prince. He was tough with that fall-away slam. I think this deserves another look, don't you, Scott?
Yeah, let's take another look at Horace's big win on Worldwide.
The Prince goes airborne. The flying cross body block off the top rope. He connected, but shortly after that, big double sledge. The fall-away slam. The Samoan drop by Horace. Here's the cover. Here's the 3 count and the victory.
Let's send it backstage to me, Gene Okerlund.
All right, before I talk to my next guest here on WCW Worldwide, I do want to remind you fans here in town that coming up exclusively on pay-per-view, it's WCW NWO Super Brawl. Mark down this date, Sunday, February the 21st, with an 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time start. Over the next few weeks, we're going to be talking about what's going to be going on at Super Brawl. From Great Britain, actually from England, come on in, Norman Smiley. Whoa, what?
Are you an educated man?
Of course I'm an educated man.
Do you have culture?
I have a certain amount of
My
culture.
name is pronounced Norman Esmaili. I've been telling you people here for weeks now, it's Norman Esmaili, not Norman Smiley.
Well, I'll
What is wrong with you?
Norman, I'll call you that. That's what you want. Can we talk a little bit about your past? You've traveled literally all over the world, and now you're here in World Championship Wrestling. Let's figure out how you got here.
I'm a world traveler.
Norman.
Smiley. I'm a well-seasoned professional wrestler, wrestling in Japan, England, Africa, Mexico, New Zealand, you name it, I've been there. And now I've arrived here in WCW, and my goal is to climb the ladder. I see the names, the big stars here in professional wrestling, and I'm going to be one of the top guys here, believe me.
I think you've, on occasion, bitten off a little bit more than you can chew. You have aggravated Chavo Guerrero Jr.
Listen. Let me tell you something about Chavo. I've beaten his father. I've beaten all his uncles. I've beaten him. And if he thinks that sway back, no-legged mule of his called Pepe, I think it is Pepe?
It's a prop, I'd say. Pepe is good enough. Norman.
Smiley. Pepe, I'm going to take care of Pepe, then I'm going to take care of Chavo or Chavito Guerrero Jr. And if his uncle doesn't like it, Eddie, I'll take care of him too.
All right, Norman Smiley.
Smiley, roll your R.
Very good. Thank you, pal. Norm, baby. Whatever. Okay. Stop. Thanks.
Tag team action on WCW Worldwide. And once again, we hear the theme song. An NWO team to make their way to the ring, and this time it's going to be Vincent and Big Brian Adams.
Well, the New World Order making their presence felt here on WCW Worldwide, much as they have in this calendar year of 1999. NWO now has possession of the World Heavyweight Championship belt. Hollywood Hogan with that belt firmly entrenched around his waist. And you know what they say, where the belt goes, the power goes. And the New World Order loves to flaunt their power.
No question about it. Brian Adams and Vincent, a part of the newly reconciled NWO. They're going to be taking on the Border Patrol.
It's an interesting tag team. It's going to be difficult, I think, for our referee to keep an eye on the Border Patrol members and figure out which one is in the ring, because I know it's going to be a difficult task for the announcers.
That's right, and I don't even know their names. Border Patrol 1 and 2, they don't tell us anything. They come in here, set to face an NWO team, don't even tell us their names. They're just the Border Patrol. Don't ask any more questions.
Well, I think that's really a part of their game plan going into this match. The less that the opposition knows about you, the less they're able to scout you out in advance and prepare some kind of a game plan or some kind of strategy for the opposition. We can see that these are two big, muscular individuals. And I know from that name, the Border Patrol, they've had some amount of success on the independent circuit around the southern part of the United States, but they're trying to take it up several notches, competing with the big boys of World Championship Wrestling in the NWO.
Well, Hollywood Hogan and more particularly Kevin Nash and Scott Hall have let it be known they have no appreciation for the WCW World Tag Team Tournament, as the Border Patrol number 1, if you will, gets the hot shot across the top steel cable. Maybe this is a message from Kevin Nash, Hollywood Hogan, and Scott Hall. They send out Brian Adams and Vincent as a tag team to show everybody that they possess the best tag team, even though they're not in the tournament.
Well, it was a phenomenal show of strength by Brian Adams with the Gorilla Press Slam, tag into Vincent, and from that point, the Border Patrol has been able to take over, and now double-teaming tactics on Vincent.
Oh, double back elbow drop Vincent. Certainly things are not going as the NWO planned. Clubbing forearm across the upper back of Vincent. Border Patrol shoots him in. Vincent stops. Float over escape. Oh! Nice counter from Vincent. Tried to float over escape. Border Patrol tried to block it. Vincent just powered him down into a Japanese arm drag. Nicely done.
And also nicely done, the good quick tag into Brian Adams. They've cut off the ring. They bring their opponents to their half of the ring, and then good quick tags getting the fresh man, Brian Adams, in, and he just leveled the Border Patrol member with the big extension of the leg.
6'6", Brian Adams, well past 300 pounds. That is a stuffed pile driver. Oh,
They
good
just
night.
spiked him.
Brian Adams has the pinfall here, but the referee distracted by the other half of the Border Patrol. And look at Adams. Would not take the pin. Typical NWO.
NWO sending a statement, sending a message to everyone in the locker room.
Oh, this is the clothesline. Up top. Oh, no. Tilt-a-whirl backbreaker from Brian Adams, and what power.
He's got him beat again. He could have pinned the man once again after the tilt-a-whirl, but he's going to dish out even more punishment.
Here we go, straight up top. Oh, into the spine buster slam from Adams. I think he wants it now. He'll take it. Brian Adams and Vincent win the tag team contest for the New World Order.
What an impressive outing this was for Brian Adams especially. He was really the man who was in control offensively as the NWO team reigns supreme.
That one is going to be worth another look, I do believe. That was an impressive display from the NWO tag team of Brian Adams and Vincent. It's our 1-800-COLLECT replay of the week. 1-800-COLLECT. Dial it and save up to 50%.
Brian Adams with the big boot. There's the spine buster. He could have beaten this tag team of the Border Patrol on any number of occasions. There's the pinfall and another NWO victory.
Let's send it back to Tony Schiavone and Larry Zbyszko.
Back here on WCW Worldwide on the heels of Sold Out, and coming up, of course, on February the 21st, Big Sunday, live from the Bay Area on pay-per-view. Get ready for WCW and the NWO's Super Brawl. Bam Bam Bigelow, sit-down pile driver, very effective. Recently it sold out against another big man by the name of Rat. Your take on that victory?
Well, first of all, Gene, I like to call my finish move greetings from Asbury Park, appropriate because I am the beast from the East. And as far as Wrath goes, he was just a stepping stone in my way to the top, and especially who's up there waiting for me? Mr. Goldberg.
Well, of course, I think the only reason you came to World Championship Wrestling initially was to get to Goldberg and the WCW World Heavyweight title. The title is gone, but Goldberg's still here.
Hey, you know, well, who was that? What was it? To be the man, you have to beat the man, somebody once said. I don't know who said it, but that's right. To be the man, you have to beat the man. And I'm going to be the man because I will beat the man.
You take a look. You've been other places, as we all have before, but can you believe the amount of talent you see here in World Championship Wrestling and the NWO today? Can you believe it?
Well, you know, I could believe anything, but what I could believe is my quest to get to the World Championship in WCW, to become the World Championship title holder, to be the man.
All right, well, that's what you're going to have to do, but there's got to be a lot of men in that line. You've knocked down Wrath, but who knows? You probably haven't heard the end of him. There's still Goldberg, and ultimately Hollywood Hogan.
Well, I've been in this business a long time, Gene, and I'm not about to quit now. If you want to be the Beast from the East, you got to beat the Beast from the East. I'm Bam Bam Bigelow, and I, sir, am the Beast from the East.
All right, he is from Asbury Park, and yes, he is one of a kind indeed. Big man, powerful man, making his presence known now in World Championship Wrestling. Bam Bam Bigelow, we thank you.
All right, we're back on Worldwide Wrestling, and Living Legend, we got a treat for you. In our second match on the card this week, the Cat, Ernest Miller with Sonny Ono, will take on the man who many people feel is the best golfer in professional wrestling in Barry Darsow.
What? The best golfer in the world, Barry Darsow?
No,
I've
professional wrestling.
I've seen Barry Darsow. He's a hacker. He's one of these guys that should be toting his bag around the par threes with the women. No offense, but I didn't want to hear Barry Darsow at all.
Okay. I thought that would get under your skin, but before we go there, we've got Scotty Riggs going up against Mr. World Class Chip Minton. Let's send it to Scott Hudson and Mike today. Gentlemen, take it away.
Thanks a lot, guys, here at the Worldwide Arena as we are 3 weeks away from Super Brawl 9 in Oakland, California. Can Ric Flair become 14-time World Heavyweight Champion? My money says yes.
I know that I'm counting down the days to Super Brawl, and you can rest assured that the Nature Boy Ric Flair, the new president of World Championship Wrestling, is doing exactly the same. Everything that he has had to put up with in terms of the NWO is going to come to a head at Super Brawl. Yes, it's an opportunity for Ric Flair to say, I am the 14-time World Heavyweight Champion. but I think that that's secondary. I think that the world's heavyweight title, and this is strange to say when it involves a traditionalist like Ric Flair, but I believe that the world's title is secondary to just him getting his hands on Hollywood Hogan after everything that has gone down in the past few months.
No question about it. Ric Flair and Hollywood Hogan. If you think you've seen those two men tie it up, you have not seen it until you see Super Brawl. I have never seen Ric Flair as angry and as fired up as he is as we head toward the February pay-per-view tradition in Oakland, California in 3 short weeks.
And Ric Flair has certainly shot from the hip when it comes to talking about Hollywood Hogan. You remember that Flair mentioned that Hollywood Hogan did everything within his power to keep talent in his own shadow. Flair agrees. Hollywood Hogan is bigger than life. But when it comes to establishing who is the world's heavyweight champion, which we will do at Super Brawl, it's going to boil down to Hollywood Hogan's ego, fame, and notoriety against the in-ring wrestling reputation of one Ric Flair.
That's going down February 21st at Super Brawl 9. And here on Worldwide, Mr. World Class, Chip Minton, one-on-one with Scotty Riggs. Minton shot in. Step over by Minton, leapfrog by Riggs. Waits on him. Oh, what a drop kick from Scotty Riggs.
And I still haven't had my questions fully answered about Scotty Riggs and the missing eye patch.
Yeah.
We all know that when Scotty Riggs was a member of the Flock, he received a drop toe hold from Raven into a steel chair, and for the better part of a year plus, wore an eye patch. Ever since his dissolution and ever since the Flock was dissolved, we see that Riggs is no longer wearing the eye patch.
I wonder if maybe Raven hadn't just convinced him that he needed it. And he really didn't. He obviously didn't. He's in there wrestling without it right now.
Probably as good an answer as any when you consider the spell that Raven had over the other Flock members, just a total mind control. The opposition for Scotty Riggs is provided by the world-class athlete, and there's no denying that.
No.
In terms of Chip Minton, we're talking about a 2-time Olympian, 2-sport star, and a very interesting 2-sport star, combining professional wrestling with the bobsled.
And if you ask Chip Minton, he was let down by the other 3 members of the U.S. bobsled team in both Lillehammer and Nagano. But I think if you go back and watch the tape, you saw Chip Minton lift his head. And when you're zipping down that bobsled track at who knows how many hundreds of thousands of miles per hour, you raise that head, that creates just enough resistance. It shaved precious seconds off the run, costing the U.S. a medal at the Olympics. That's what I say.
And it's just so disappointing to see a great athlete like Chip Minton point the fingers at his teammates.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about the Olympics here. Has there ever been a sports competition where teamwork and the fact that you're working for the medals for your own country comes into play more than the Olympics, and then he has the nerve to blame the other people for what was, I think, a very good showing. What were they, 5th?
Finished 5th that year. Best showing ever by a United States Olympic bobsled team, and Minton still not satisfied, trying to throw blame around. And now Mr. World Class. Oh, what a misnomer that is. Well, Mr. No Class. Chip Minton shoots Scotty Riggs across into the ropes. Minton, oh, missed with a drop kick. Riggs hung on.
You see the incredible development in the legs of Chip Minton. The key to his success in pro wrestling is going to be taking that leg power and using it in the wrestling ring. That time he missed with a drop kick. Let's see if Riggs can follow up and take the advantage here.
Riggs now beginning to open up on Chip Minton. Minton in the corner. Snapmare take out of the corner from Riggs on Minton. Riggs now to the middle rope. Misses the elbow. Minton out of the way.
Well, it was nice agility by Riggs in walking the ropes, but then he didn't connect when he tried with that elbow smash coming off the middle rope. Suplex takeover.
Nicely executed, and Chip Minton taking over on Scotty Riggs. Oh! Oh, body splash off the ropes. Lateral press cover. No! Riggs out at 2.
And that big splash has provided Minton with several victories in WCW.
Oh, leapfrog from Minton. Oh, the 5-arm from Scotty Riggs out of nowhere. Backtrap, hooks the leg.
Got him.
He got him. Scotty Riggs gets the victory. Another success from a former Flockster.
Riggs goes airborne with that flying forearm smash, connects, follows up with the pin.
Much more action still to come on Worldwide. Back at the Worldwide Arena, Scott Hudson, Mike Tenay, and according to this format sheet that I know we pretty much can universally ignore, this is supposed to be Mr. Hole in the Head, Barry Darsow.
Mr. Hole in One, Barry
Okay,
Darsow.
he's only got one hole in his head. Whatever. Barry Darsow, the portable putting green in tow, no doubt will issue another miniature golf challenge here on Worldwide.
So he comes prepared, doesn't he?
Prepared for what?
Brings his own putting green, has the golf clubs. I think it's time for a putting challenge.
You're going to get this right. It's Mr. PGA. Cut that music here.
I haven't seen that card.
Mr. what?
Mr. PGA.
I thought he said LPGA. Shut up or I'll get a ranger to come back and have every one of you removed from here.
Thinks he's on the course.
A ranger? Okay, every week I come out here and I give you a putting lesson. You mean Gretzky? And I show you that I'm the greatest golfer of all time. Well, tonight it's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to show you that I'm the greatest wrestler of all time.
That's a first.
Yeah, check the marquee, sport. Like I say, the greatest wrestler of all time. So tonight, there's a man who's a 3-time world karate champion.
Well, we know who that
don't
is.
Cut it with me. I hope not. Because I'm a 4-time PGA champion.
What?
So bring it on. Oh, that's ridiculous.
He's delirious. Never received his PGA card. 4-time PGA champion.
Well, here comes the 3-time world karate champion, the Cat.
Cut the music.
Uh-oh.
At least his credentials are legit.
Cut the music. Hey, where I come from, we don't play that little sissy game. And what you need to be worrying about right now is the same thing all these stupid fans here need to be worrying about.
There's more of them than you, Cat. Watch it.
And that's what I'm about to do to you, you hear me? Because I'm the greatest. And whenever I come here, I come to whoop somebody. Not to play that stupid game. So I tell you, shut up!
Cat's making
You got
friends.
some big ears, first of all, so sit down. So what I'm about to do to you, brother, is what you need to be worrying about. You put your 4-time.
Hey, you stick-on bum!
And
Get
see
in
what's gonna
here!
happen.
Get in here!
Look at that. Darso's cleared the ring.
Good.
I don't see the
Let me
putting
tell you
green. I don't
something,
see the
fat
golf
boy.
clubs.
Oh, and the Cat. Is he running for office?
Yeah, I am. Hold it.
No, you just said he was.
Get him
Can you
back.
hear me? So it's going to be the Cat and Barry
You
Darsow
people
and...
know I'm the greatest.
Still got the
And let
mic.
me tell you something, chump. I'm about to do something real bad to you.
Quiet, Mike.
Now, shut up, people.
You talking to me? My
No.
lips weren't even
He's
moving.
pointing at you.
By law, I got to tell you this.
That he has a
My
muscular
hands
condition? What's wrong
and
with him?
feet are registered weapons. I can rip your head off with my bare hand. And that's with everybody else in here. But I got to allow you 5 seconds to get away. So when I turn to 5, if you still in here, I'm going to rip you apart, okay?
Okay.
1.
Darso's
Two.
not backing down.
Sonny Ono telling him it's time to
3.
leave.
4. 5.
Oh! Oh, but Darsow missed it. Standing back kick. From the Cat. Drop Darsow. Oh, that connected. Look at Darsow.
Darsow goes down from the kick from the Cat. Now look at the Cat.
Do I have to?
More worried about the fans at ringside than his opponent.
Oh, and Darsow shot into the ropes. The Cat waits on him. Telegraphed it and caught a big right meat hook and another from Barry Darsow. Forearm across the back of the cat, beating him down. Full slam coming up from Darso.
I haven't seen socks like that since Payne Stewart. And I'm not sure that he would even wear those.
Do not adjust your set. Those are Barry Darso socks.
Yeah, that is not a test pattern.
The cat trying to regroup at ringside with Sonny Ono. Uh-oh. Darso, I think he's got about a 3 wood. Oh, taken off after the cat. Gonna try and plant him in the middle of the fairway. Charles Robinson, the referee, trying to keep things in a semblance of a wrestling match.
Good luck.
Where's the marquee? What does it say out there?
You know, for once I was actually happy to see Darso with that golf club in his hand.
Really? I'd be even happier to see him wrap it around the cat's throat like he did everybody else that's been in the ring with him. Better yet, shove it down his throat. There's plenty of room for it.
Come on, the match has started. The cat stalling on the ring apron, trying to slow down the offensive momentum of Barry Darso.
Well, the cat extending. Is that a hand for a handshake? Look, he's drying his nails.
And now Darso wants to shake hands with the cat.
I wouldn't want to touch him. Ooh! Into the gut! And a right hand from Darso. Backs the cat in the corner. Shoots him across into the turnbuckle. Oh, no! Darso hit the pole.
Ooh! Left himself wide open for that standing sidekick, and the cat delivered.
Look at that. Right across the throat of Barry Darso.
Well, he warned him before the match, those feet are lethal weapons.
I can smell him from here. Here we go. Full slam in the center of the ring. The cat off the ropes. Oh, missed the elbow. Darso out of the way. Oh, right hand. Darso not in a mouth. That may have been the best course of action there. Didn't take it. The cat into the rope. Right in the breadbasket. Doubles up the cat. The 3-time World Karate Champion will be suplexed by Mr. LPTA. He nailed him. Lateral press. Cover. 2. Oh, and 2 8/10. Very close.
Frustration evident on the part of Barry Darso. He gets right in the face of our official, Charles Robinson. He thought he had a 3 count that time.
Oh! The hot shot on the cat across the top rope. Lateral press. Can Darso hang on? No, the cat out. Oh. No! Sonny Ono on the apron. Caught a right meat hook from Darso. Double sledge across the back of the head from Barry. Shoots the cat across. Oh!
Oh, did you see his knee on that? Oh.
Drop kick right in the knee from the cat. And Darso may be done. Barely back to his feet. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Sonny Ono cut him off.
Tug of war.
He was going for the 7-iron. Ooh!
Oh, he nailed him from behind. Caught him with the kick to the back of the head. I think Darso's out.
That may do it. A handful of trunks and the cat will win it over Barry Darso. I don't know if I'm going to laugh or cry.
Well, this has to be one of the most unique matches that we have ever seen on WCW Worldwide. But as things turn out, the golf club interference on the part of Barry Darso backfires. Because while he was in a tug-of-war with Sonny Ono, the cat hits the kick and covers him for the pin.
The cat will win it over Barry Darso on Worldwide. For Mike Tenay, Scott Hudson, send it back to Tony and Larry. Take it, guys.